Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Copperhead Brewing, and these guys are down in Texas. This is their Striker IPA. This was sent to me by Brandon C. down in Texas. He sends me a lot of Texas beers that aren't available here in Virginia. So Brandon, thank you again. Do appreciate it, brother. This is their 7% IPA. Commercial description on this. I don't have anything on Beer Advocate. Untapped says, Striker IPA is all about the hops. The trio of Citra, Columbus, and Apollo hops create a dank, resinous, tropical, and citrus flavor, light-bodied with a crisp malt base, and lets the hop shine. Well, citrus is a very tasty hop, guys. I'm expecting it to be a nice and citrusy beer. I didn't notice any kind of dating on it. We'll take a closer look when I come back for the final chug. Nothing is standing out. I'll take another quick look here. I don't see anything on the label here, and no writing is standing out on the bottle, but it is sweating already. We'll take a closer look. If you're going to be in the IPA game, guys, you need to have a date on your beers. You need to have a dating machine, and that's the way I feel about it. If you don't feel that way, maybe you shouldn't be producing IPAs. So that's just my opinion, though. I find that the dating machine on this style of beer is just as critical as the brew kettle. So I don't know how big the brewery is, or how far they distribute it, or the reasons why it may not have it. But like I said, we'll take a closer look just to make sure when I come back and the bottle has quit sweating. See if we can find a date on it. That's the only way you know you're buying a fresh beer, guys. And it ain't something that's been sitting on a shelf for 6, 8 months, 12 months. So, we want to drink our IPAs as fresh as we can get them. We don't want to be buying something that's been sitting on the shelf for 6, 8, 12 months. So, let's get on with this. We've read everything we need to read as far as commercial description. So, let me get this thing down here and get the top off of it. Very nice cap. Copperhead Brewing. Got some kind of, it's like some kind of coral snake on there. Let's see if I can try to save this. A little hiss on it, not a big hiss. Very nice cap. People say, show the cap. Alright, there it is. Can you see it? Probably not. Alright, into the glass we go. Cuisine is curried in a Thai, cheese of peppery, Monterey, pepper jack, sharp, blue cheddar, your stronger cheeses, gorgonzola, lumburger, meat, poultry, fish, shellfish, and salmon. I'll add grilled meat to that. Glassware, pint Becker, nonic, tumbler mug, Stein Sidel. I'm using my favorite tulip glass, and not recommended for selling salad rings. The whole reason we need to have a date on it. So it hasn't been extended salad rings on the shelf somewhere. So let's see what we got here. It didn't pour very much of a head. It's just covering the top of the beer. It is a nice amber color with a lot of bubbles streaming up from the center of the glass. Looks pretty good. Let's get a nose to it. Very nice citrusy notes here, guys. It's got a very nice, wonderful citrusy. Maybe a slight hint of some oranges or some... it doesn't have a strong grapefruit, but it does have a fruity aroma like a tropical fruit notes. But the citrusiness of it stands out more than anything. It does smell very nice. It smells very tasty, very appealing. Oh well, let's see what it tastes like. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Brandon. Whew. little strong on the bitterness on the back end. Untapped has it at 80 IBUs. A little heavy for a single IPA. Like I said, just my opinion though, but it's there. Me personally, I don't think this would be a good introductory IPA for your first IPA. It's a little strong on the bittering for somebody that just trying to get into the IPA style. You might want to go with something with a little less bittering. It may be more appealing to you, especially if you are transitioning from the macro lagers into maybe some of the better lagers, or now that we're getting in a, and today is the 5th? I think today's the 5th of August 2017. Already seen pumpkin beers on the shelf already this week. First week of August and we got pumpkin beers. Incredible. I have no desire to drink a pumpkin beer in August. And by the time October gets around here, those beers have been sitting on the shelf for 3 months. So anyway, that's neither here or there. This seems to be very tasty. It's just a little strong on the IBUs in my opinion for a 7% IPA. 80. Once you get into the 80 category, that's more like a double IPA IBUs. A lot more malt base. So, well, let me sip on this, let her taste it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little bit left here. Pretty nice slicing is leaving on the glass here. A nice citrusy taste. Not getting a whole lot of pine or pineapple or anything like that. A little bit of oranges in there, maybe some slight tropical fruit notes. The biggest fuss I got about it, other than not having a date on the bottle, because I looked, it has absolutely nothing written on it. That would prevent me from buying the beer. If I picked this, it was available here and I picked it up off the shelf, didn't see a date on it, I would put it right back up on the shelf, guys. So, don't know how old or fresh it is. Evidently, it's not a malty or anything, so evidently we got lucky and Brandon was able to get a fairly fresh bottle. So, but without a date, we do not know. Too strong on the bitterness for a single IPA. 80s is a little high to me, and you can taste that bitterness too. And I like the bitterness in the IPA. This seems a little bit overly bitter to me. Final choke. It's not as balanced as it could be. I think 80 IBUs is a little high for a 7%er. There's not enough malt to balance that beer out, so I think it's a little bit unbalanced with the bitterness it's got. So to me, guys, it's B beer, and I would probably give this a B plus if it had a date on it, but it does not, so it's going to get to B for me. 85, that's where I'm going to put it, because we don't know how old the beer is. Alright, over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 87. And final check-in, we run over to Untapped. Untapped has it at 3.77, which is their B plus range also. So I'm reserving that because it doesn't have a date on it, and I think the bitterness is a little overpowering on the beer. So, if you've had this from Copperhead Brewing,